It's Foreign News O'Clock on All News Nigeria. I am Okwemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines for today. Chaos as U.S. Congress fails to elect Speaker. What happens if no candidate wins a majority? Winter heat recorded across Europe. Now the news in details. For the first time in 100 years, U.S. Congress failed to reach a consensus on who to elect as Speaker for the House of Representatives on Tuesday, 3rd January. The House adjourned without a Speaker on Tuesday night, the first time since 1923 they had failed to choose a leader after a first-round vote. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy repeatedly failed in his bid to be elected Speaker. The start of a new Congress was supposed to be a victory lap for the Republican Party as it took control of the lower chamber following November's elections. Instead, Mr. McCarthy faced a rebellion from within his own ranks and made history for all the wrong reasons. The California congressman has lost 3 consecutive votes for Speaker so far, and it's unclear what his path to victory could be when the House returns on Wednesday to try all over again. They will keep voting until someone wins a majority. In 3 consecutive votes, Mr. McCarthy failed to reach the required 218 vote threshold. Though Republicans hold 22 seats, a bloc of 19 hard-right Republicans had solidified in opposition to him. They oppose Mr. McCarthy on ideological and personal grounds, but also see an opportunity to exploit Republicans' narrow majority to force further concessions from him. It's been a roller coaster of drama and chaos, as the House even nominated Representative Jim Jordan to challenge him just moments after Mr. Jordan himself nominated Mr. McCarthy for Speaker. Many have wondered what would happen if there is no Speaker. Apparently, the House is in limbo until it elects a Speaker. Members of the 118th Congress can't be sworn in. The House can't set rules to govern itself, and it can't consider legislation or create committee assignments. House Republicans have pledged to unleash a slew of investigations, including some targeting President Joe Biden, all of which will be on pause until a Speaker is elected. Let's discuss what happens if no candidate wins a majority. If no candidate wins a majority of votes for Speaker on the first ballot, House lawmakers will vote again and again until the Speaker is elected.
We have worked for a long time. I've been leader for 4 years. I came into this position and we had less than 200 members. We are now sitting in the majority. We put forth to the American public a commitment to America. There's times we're going to have to argue with our own members if they're looking at for only positions for themselves, not for the country. For the last 2 months, we worked together as a whole conference to develop rules that empower all members. But we're not empowering certain members over others. Last night I was presented the only way to have 218 votes if I provided certain members with certain positions, certain gavels, to take over church committee, to have certain budgets. And they even came to the position where one, Matt Gaetz, said, I don't care if we go to plurality and we elect Hakeem Jeffries and it hurts the new frontline members not to get reelected. Well, that's not about America, and I will always fight to put the American people first, not a few individuals that want something for themselves. So we may have a battle on the floor, but the battle is for the conference and the country, and that's fine with me.
In the event of multiple ballots, the House will not necessarily continue late into the night. The last time there were multiple ballots, the House adjourned until the following day after 4 failed ballots. Adjourning also allows members time to negotiate and strike deals. But the House will be able to do little else. Until a Speaker is elected, it can't adopt a rules package governing procedure in the House. For House Republicans, uncertainty about the Speaker election has led to a delay in the conference choosing contested committee chairs. Any long delay in selecting a Speaker could also affect staff operations for the House. Politico had reported that guidance set to House committees warned that payroll cannot be processed for staff if a House rules package is not adopted by January 13, 2023. Dark circumstances could lead to unusual procedures. Twice before, in 1949 and 1956, the House agreed to a resolution that allowed a speaker to be elected by plurality. That move was something of a last resort, though, and came after 59 and 129 field ballots. A majority of the whole House would need to agree to that resolution. A speaker election has not gone to a second ballot in nearly a century and has taken multiple ballots only 14 times, with 13 of those occurring before the Civil War. The last time, in December 1923, it took 9 ballots over 3 days before the House elected Republican Frederick Gillett to a third term as a speaker. The longest speakership election ever, in 1856, lasted 2 months and took 133 ballots before Representative Nathaniel Banks was elected Speaker. On weather news, Europe has recorded winter heat across the continent. Temperatures for January have reached an all-time high in a number of nations across Europe. National records have fallen in 8 countries and regional records in another 3. Warsaw, Poland, saw 18.9 centigrade on Sunday, while Bilbao, Spain, was 21.1 centigrade, more than 10 centigrade above average. The mild European weather comes as North America faces more severe storms days after a deadly winter cold snap left more than 60 dead. But on the European side of the Atlantic, the weather has been balmy for many places as the start of the year. Temperatures in some countries like Netherlands, Latvia, Czech Republic, Poland, Denmark, Belarus, and others broke national records. Station records were also broken in Germany, France, and Ukraine. And that's it on the news. To keep up with Allnews Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We'll be back with more news updates tomorrow. I am Opeyemi Olubemi. Have a good day.